So, haven't been able to find spark on this thing for a while since I got it. I didn't have any of the controls or anything, so I was basically making all the connections that the start-stop switch, the push-button start would normally do. So I had to kind of backtrack and figure out what wires did what, and I was having a bunch of problems getting it to fire. I'd get it to turn over, get my neutral indicator light to work, I get my oil level warning light to work. Everything was functioning normally, but for some reason, no spark. So what it ended up being was, once I pulled the entire harness apart, because I was thinking I had a broken connection somewhere, because all of my components were all testing okay, and that was even after I just bought some extras just in case, to just kind of swap them in and see if it made any difference, because they're relatively inexpensive on eBay. So I just grabbed a new CDI, I grabbed a new rectifier, tried both of those to no avail. So basically, once I just dove into the harness and completely ripped it to pieces, I was able to see different connections that I was missing. So, for example, this red wire here was supposed to be in the ignition circuit to keep the ignition going. So I was getting everything but the start-stop switch to be on. So I had 2 out of the 3 wires connected. So it was kind of an easy thing to miss when you've got this much wiring and you're kind of going backwards without the controls, which actually have the multi-wire connectors inside of them. So when you turn one switch, it doesn't just connect 2 wires, it connects 3 or 4 different wires. So I figured that's what it was, because everything, once I figured out the ohm settings for all of these different components, I was able to test them and they were all within range. And so I'm just scratching my head like, the pickup coils were fine, everything was fine, but for whatever reason it just wouldn't work. So anyways, once I just decided, was really hesitant to tear into a wiring harness for obvious reasons. I don't know if anyone's ever done that, but it was kind of nerve-wracking. But basically just ripped it apart. Took me about 2 hours. And like I said, once I did that, I was able to see where these connections are splicing in a lot more clearly, and then able to look at my wiring diagram and able to make a lot more sense of what I was missing and where everything needed to be. So I got a lot of extra wire, crazy amount of wire, all the components I don't need. So I'm gonna sell all that stuff on eBay for somebody that needs it. I'm just using the engine, so I don't need any of the lighting or flashers or any of that other stuff that comes with these bikes, because they're full street bikes. They have full on blinkers, turn signals, horn, lockout switches, all kinds of different stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I got my bare bones harness, I got spark. Right now I don't have the throttle hooked up, so I'm not going to try and fire it right now, but I'm pretty confident that it's going to fire. Everything's in spec, valves are in spec, carbs are fresh, rebuilt. So yeah, I'm really excited. I didn't know how long this was going to take me to do, and I've had so much whammies with this car, and I really want to just get it ready for the season. And I'm almost there. I got a lot of stuff going on in here. Got some cool seats, and got the CB radio, got that all hooked up, got a heater, got the turn signals and the turn signal switch and all that stuff, and reverse lights and running lights, and just kind of taking care of everything I can take care of. Got some other stuff in there like the ammo box and some other things that I'm taking care of, but yeah, basically the engine, it's a shaft drive engine, so it should be really good with the transfer case. Hopefully the RPMs aren't too high, but yeah, so I just got to fab a shaft out of this to match up with the yoke that came with the transfer case, which I have a couple extras. So progress, I'm happy. Let's see, maybe another month and we'll actually have this thing driving around. Fingers crossed.